using the resources provided EMI and through today's teaching demonstration. Okay, so in today's demonstration, so each of you is required to conduct a 15 minutes teaching demonstration. Okay, and the order of demonstration are shown here. And in addition, each of you are also required to observe at least 2 other presenters. Okay, so to make it easier for you to decide, I already assign. Okay, so for example, for presenter 1, presenter number 3, and presenter number 4, you are going to observe presenter of number 1, okay, and so on, okay. And at the end of each demonstration, we will have 5 minutes for discussion, okay. So during the 5 minutes discussion, you will need to share your observation of the presenter that you observe, okay, right. Okay, so at the end of today's demonstration, and we were going to have a summary session, and at the end we are going to have the group photo, okay, and also individual photo, okay, you and the poster. All right, so that's basically the thing that we are going to do today. Okay, so now let's start today's teaching demonstration from our presenter number 1. So it's Dr. Huang. Okay. Okay. So let's welcome Dr. Huang.
Okay. Good morning, teacher and everyone. And I'm Huang. Now I want to share some lessons about my PE class, and my topic is upper body strength training and basic movement. Okay, first introduction. My class topic is specially designed for the beginners, and I want these students to learning how to train their upper body with some movement skills, and this is a basic course. So why is this course important? Because if you can develop a correct concept and technique to training your body, and then you will maintain and foster your physical health. So this course is very important for beginners to learn it. And first, learning preview, students will learn some key terminology and understanding major muscle groups and gain experience with basic training in this class. First, we need to analyze their needed. Learner profile is university students, maybe age about 18 and between 25, and from very diverse cultural backgrounds, maybe Taiwanese or not Taiwanese in this class. Learning motivation is, I think the student in this class, they are all want to pursue some physical health, or maybe they are athletes in the class, or maybe they are athletes in their own life, so they want to learn some more skills to enhance their performance. And maybe I think their English proficiency will between from A2 to B2, and A2 students maybe will only learn some basic exercise, conversations or words, and to B1 and B2, maybe they can teach some English words in the class with each other to helping me to show some English words to their classmates. And in this class, I will use some specific language because in this training class, like for example, like muscle groups, they will have some professional names like biceps, triceps, deltoid, and so on. And in the training, there are also some terms about you need to do how many reps, how many sets, and what is your proper form to do this exercise to avoid the harmful happen. Yes, and about communication skills, I want these students to understand and follow this introduction, and they need to describe how to do this exercise, and can ask her questions or discussing with each other about these training skills. And my curriculum goals first about knowledge is in this class they need to demonstrate understanding about some key points of training, and they need to know first this class is basic and for advanced learning, so this is very important to learning this class. About concept, they can effectively summarize and explain some fitness concepts, and these skills they can organize them to connection with each other, talking, discussing with classmates. And after they learning some concept and fundamental, the most important is they need to try it practical application. In this class, they apply this theoretical knowledge and trying this skill, and after doing this, I want them can showing this ability to their actually fitness context in their life. So the master and the final goals after this knowledge and the practical practice, I hope they can really have the health promotion about this knowledge to have a healthy lifestyle, and they can really have some training knowledge. About learning objective and outcomes, in knowledge comprehensive, learners will be able to demonstrate or understanding about these training concepts, and they can integration this training and about how to explain it, and compare the difference about these skills, or how can I integration this training in my routine or in my life. So actually skill execution, learners will do the theoretical knowledge and attempt to apply the correctly procedure and techniques in their training or in their daily life. For our learning contents, core concept will learning some basic terminology like do repetition sets, and warm up and cool down is very important in your every time exercise. In this class, and you need to identify how many muscle groups we need to target to training it. So you need to identify bicep, triceps, these muscles is the correctly location is where, and how I to do some exercise to training these muscle groups. And next I will show them some basic training movement, learn some fundamental exercise such as very simple push-ups, or use some very light weights, dumbbell rows or overhead shoulder press, bicep curls or tricep extensions. We will see the times to show them how many skills and movements, and let them to learn it more quickly and correctly. So they can use their body weight or light equipment to perform this basic upper limb strength training in this class. So when we enter in these classes in the teaching environment, first since I will take 5 minutes to get their attention, maybe about ask students what is their past exercise experience, or maybe they are athletes, their game experience, and I want to know then their expectations in these classes, what or how they want to learn something about training skills, and maybe I will prepare some videos or some games about YouTube to showing the benefits about strength training for their daily life, and not only in athlete performances. It's very important to everyone for their health. So next I will inform learners about the objective. Clearly to state the learning goals for this session, like I mentioned before, they need to understand terminology, muscle groups, and most important, they need to perform in this basic skill movement to more directly. Yes, and now I will next step I will make them to having a group discussing time to discuss the importance of warm-up exercise and safety. I think this is very important before they want to do some training or exercise. So make them to discussing first to know the warming up exercise important and how to be safety in any exercise or in these classes. After this discussing, I will invite students to share what they already know about exercise or muscles or some warm-up exercise. They discussing first, and I will show them and discussing with them later. So after this warm-up session, I will now present some content in the class. I will show them some slides or some pictures about clear definition, these key terms like reps, stats, or rest time, and some we will train upper muscle groups. We'll show some this picture or slides to let them know, and I will demonstrate and break them down into smaller steps to show. Next steps I will show them what and you guys need to do something in this step and step by step to do it. And I will arrange individual training time and group training time, make them have more discussing with each other. And after this content, showing this content, I will provide some learning guidance, and I will offer verbal step-by-step introduction for each moment, emphasize a key point that is about need to keep your best straight, engage your core, and I will show some demonstration in my person, and will give themselves to ask question time or feedback in any moment. After this, I will let them to do personal or group training about 20 minutes to doing this moment and in person, and they need to describe how they feel in their body when do this exercise and to modify it, and provide feedback about from me or their classmates to discussing with each other, and praising character execution and point out some maybe some skills or areas need to improvement, and encourage them to discussing more observation and don't be shy, give some simple feedback with each other. And after this, I will do some simple assess performance, like how they can understand this concept or doing the character exercise skills. After this, I will provide some summarize for key terms and exercise to make them more impressed about this class. Assessment design, I will do some checklists to evaluate students' performance about skills and concepts. So I expect students can outcome they really know these terms like rep sets and muscle groups. They really can know it, and speaking or discussing with me or with classmates. So like students can master key terminology and maybe the better is they can show some English about questions or something about terms and how to do these skills. So I think about some teaching reflection, maybe students will, if I use English in this case, maybe they will not participate in this session actively because they need to use English. I need to think of this point. And teacher's introduction was clear for learners about this degree English students. If they can understand, maybe they won't learn these skills better. Yes, and maybe there are also some change about students will facing about understand this concept and performing movements with English is also still a difficult challenge for them. So I also want to think about future lessons. I need to adjust about how to integrate the language and this skill or moments training. Okay, and this slide, my reference is about EMI and the NSCA training association and Google and my teaching experience. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Huang, for your presentation. Okay, thank you very much. So I think Dr. Huang made a very clear presentation, okay, regarding your lesson plan. And so in your lesson plan, actually it's also quite well structured. So first of all, you have the warm-up activity, then you introduce the objective to the students, and then you do your lecture, and then you provide the feedback, and at the end also the assessments. Okay, so this is a very perfect circle for one lecture, and according to the rubric, okay, so we have the instruction design and the content delivery. So I think this part is very, you have the clear objective and you have the balanced content, okay, and also you have the assessment at the end. Okay, so this part is very good from my opinion of view, but I would also, in terms of the suggestion, okay, so I would like to suggest that, so for example, during your warm-up activity, you ask students to recall their prior knowledge, okay, the prior knowledge related to the content you're going to deliver in this lecture. So you do not say very clearly how you are going to ask your student to share, because I think you can think about to use some techniques to assist the student to share their ideas, because you mentioned that your target student, they have their English proficiency level at A2, B1, B2. Okay, so which means some of your students, because the expected English proficiency for the EMI courses actually is at G2, B2. Okay, so since some of your students, they do not reach this level of English proficiency, so they might need some help. Okay, so probably here you can add some techniques to scaffold your student to share. So for example, to give them a template structure, the sentence structure, or provide some useful vocabulary, yeah, or even to ask them to write down before they share. Okay, so this is my feedback. Okay, wonderful. And I would like to also invite Dr. Luo. Okay. Just 1 minute. 1 to 2 minutes.
Also, thank you very much for your inspiring presentation. And I feel really your learning motivation and the curriculum goals are very clear, and that is the strengthen. And for the suggestion, you mentioned about you're giving students some assessment like the quiz or exam questions, but I feel after that you can give them some feedback so they can know whether they're doing right or wrong. That is it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Huang, for your feedback. And then, Dr. Huang.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. I'm very impressed by the objective, very clear, and the way you scaffold the class, and also the assessment as well. So it kind of link very coherently. But then I do have a very question as well. Because for the fourth part of this record, we have classroom environment and inclusivity, which is, I really can't observe it through the presentation. So I'm also kind of wanted to ask this question. Are we supposed to do the demonstration, like a mock teaching, or supposed to deliver it as a presentation verbally? Because I check the
different style of presentation. I think it's fine.
Okay, okay,
You can choose
yeah.
whatever you want to present.
Okay, thank you very much. I just scared that I prepared the wrong way. Yeah, sorry.
Actually, I do not receive any instruction regarding how the presenter is going to present. So, oh, right, okay. Thank you then. So please join me to thanks for Dr. Huang's excellent presentation. Thank you. Okay. So next one is Dr. Chen. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Huang and my dear colleagues, and I am Steve, and I am a PhD candidate in the Department of Physical Education and Sport Sciences. Today, I would like to introduce my introductory course, which is the acute exercise and cognitive function. Instead of introducing the detailed information of my course description, I would like to demonstrate how I interact with those students in the class. So please join me in the following activity. First, let me introduce myself first. I am a PhD candidate in the Department of Physical Education and Sport Sciences in National Taiwan Memorial University, and I am from the Physical Activity and Cognitive Neuroscience Laboratory, and my advisor is Professor Zhang. And I have the bachelor degree of Chinese literature in National Zhengzhou University, and I have 2 master degrees. The first one is the International Sinology Studies in National Taiwan Memorial University, and the other one is the Exercise and Health Sciences in University of Taipei. And now I'm in this department, and I have several certifications about the exercise sciences and the strength and conditioning courses. And fortunately, I have been working for almost more than 10 years in the fitness industry. So I used to be a personal trainer and clinical exercise physiologist. Okay. So in today's courses, I will introduce you guys 3 main concepts, which is as the following. The first one is I will define what is the physical activity. And the second one, I will also introduce you guys what is the acute exercise. And the last one, I will introduce the potential acute exercise and cognitive function improvement. So let's dive into those topics together. First, I would like to ask you guys, what do you guys think, what is the physical activity? As you can see on this screen, there are 4 photos on the screen. So, do you guys think all those activities are physical activity? What do you think?
I think all of them. Yes.
Why?
Because they are doing they are all use their bodies to do these activities. Yes.
Okay, thank you for your insight. How about you? What do you think?
I think all of them are physical activities because they all require physical movement.
Okay, that's great. I think we all know about what is physical activity, and the most difficult part is how to define what is a physical activity and what is the exercise or what is the sports. It's the most common misunderstanding of that. Because this course is mainly designed for the undergraduate student and graduate student. So I would like to introduce all those concepts in the following presentation. First, we will have to define what is the physical activity. As this study shows that there are 3 kinds of things. The first one is the physical activity, and the second one is the physical exercise. And the last one is the sport. How can we define all those different concepts? By the definition will be the key topic of this presentation. As we can see on the graph, the left side, the y-axis, there are a threshold of the 1.5 mass. So do you guys know what is mass? You must be the expert, right?
Mass is how people to metabolic their yes in this activity.
Yeah, you're right, yeah, that's great. Mass is a kind of things that you consume some oxygen in your daily activities, and there are some kind of threshold of any different kind of exercise or physical activity or sports. So it's very important to make all those different definition of a concept, especially for the physical activity and physical exercise and sport. And there are also some kind of concept of those different kind of domains. For example, you might want to know what kind of exercise or physical activity will improve your cardiovascular fitness, or it can improve your musculoskeletal fitness. So next time when we want to define all those different kind of concepts, we should keep this photo or figure in mind, and how can we define all those concepts in more detailed and concrete definition. So according to the guideline, or quote-unquote the Bible of exercise science, that is the American College of Sports Medicine, the guidelines for exercise testing and prescription, the definition is truly very detailed. For example, when we see the physical activity, it's a kind of body movement that works your muscle and requires more energy than resting. So when you are doing some kind of working or running, dancing or swimming or something like that, it's a kind of physical activity. And while you want to do some kind of physical activity in a more planned way or structured way, it's a kind of exercise. So in this scenario, for example, when you doing some kind of weight training or taking an aerobic exercise or class in the gym, that will be a kind of exercise. So it's pretty important to distinguish all those different concepts in your real life. And in the following scenario, I want to introduce guys. Since that the physical activity or exercise is beneficial for your physiological adaptation, is that possible that physical activity or exercise also improve your cognitive function? What do you think?
Sorry, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay. Seems that the physical activity and exercise might improve your physiological adaptation or benefits. How do you think that the acute exercise might improve your cognitive function as well?
Yes, I think so.
Why?
Because in my experience, if I exercise more, sometimes I feel my thought is more clear.
Wow. Great insight. How do you think?
I think yes, and because exercise is improving your health. Your health is about your mind and your body. So cognitive function, I think, is also benefit from exercise. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So from the previous studies and research, we can discover that acute exercise or physical activity might improve your cognitive function, that including your memory or executive function or some kind of life skills as well. So it's really beneficial for your all kinds of physical or psychological benefits. Especially there are different kinds of exercise. Do you guys do exercise at home or when you are doing some activity? Please raise your hand. Wow, that's great. What kind of exercise do you do?
Weight training.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's great. So you guys might have been wondering why that kind of exercise might improve your cognitive function. So according to previous studies that the acute exercise can improve your cognitive function, especially for your executive function or memory. So it's pretty important for us to know about what's the differences of different kind of exercise, especially for the different kind of exercise modalities might have different kind of benefits for your cognitive function. Okay. So regarding the exercise type, there are two kinds of exercise. The first one is the aerobic exercise, and the other one is the resistance exercise. So do you guys know what's the difference between those different kind of exercise modality? What do you think? Do you think those exercise modalities are different?
What is exercise modality?
Okay, maybe we can just say exercise type.
Exercise time is?
Yes. We can divide into the aerobic exercise and resistance exercise as on the screen.
What's the question?
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
Do you think those different kind of exercise modality are different?
Oh yeah, they are different.
Oh, so what's the difference?
The left is aerobic exercise and the right is resistance exercise.
Yeah, that's great. So it's mainly very different from those different kind of exercise type, especially when we are trying to do all those different exercise in your daily life. So it's pretty important to know the differences. And in this course, we will also help you guys to distinguish all those different exercise types. And we will also introduce guys how to make the further research or investigation for those exercise and cognitive function. And in the end of the semester, we will also have a mini project and we'll help you guys to design an exercise program according to American College of Sport Medicine, according to the FIT principle, which is the frequency, intensity, time, and type. And you guys will learn how to develop your own program for improving your cognitive function. And let's write up all those messages together. The take-home message is that the physical activity is very beneficial for your overall health. And the second one is that the physical activity might also beneficial for your cognitive function. So in this course, we will have many activity or course development regarding all those different kind of concept clarification. So we can have a very wonderful and enjoyable semester together. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your excellent demonstration. Okay, so I have a very brief comment and feedback. Okay, so I think your lecture is well structured as well. So first of all, you have the warm-up activity to bring students' mind to your lecture, and then you have the presentation, and then at the end, okay. And so I think I see some advantages of your, I see some strengths of your presentation today. So first of all, is that on your slide, you make good use of the visual aid, which I think is very good, is very helpful for students to understand what you are talking about. So this is the first strength. And the second strength that I noticed is that you actually are quite good at encouraging active participation, and you value it in your lecture by Q&A individually with your students. Okay, so this is the second strength. But I would also provide my suggestion regarding how to encourage students to interact with you, especially when your student, they have a different level of English proficiency. Yeah, but you did a good job. Okay, so in that situation, okay, the students, they cannot understand your question. Probably they do not have the enough background knowledge to answer your question, and you dealt with it quite well because you're trying to use the different way to ask the question. Okay, so that also linked to my suggestion that probably you can consider to design some group discussion. Okay, and then so you can come up some question, even you can provide the student the question for discussion in group before class, so they can prepare, and then they have the chance to discuss their ideals in a group, and so they even can write it down. Okay, and then when you ask them to share, actually they will feel less frightened. Okay, right. So this is my feedback and comment, and well done. Thank you.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
Okay, and then now let's invite Dr. Huang for your feedback. Dr. Huang. Yeah. So. Right. Yeah, Dr. Huang.
Yeah, that's on. Yeah, I'm not from Taiwan, so. Yeah, thank you for your presentation, and I enjoyed the class. And I can observe there are some strength. I think how you engage with students very well, and yeah, you almost ask every one of us questions. Yeah, and to help us to keep, just keep the pace with you. So I also quite like the way you explain the concepts on the slides, but also some concepts like maths, which he answered, but I couldn't really get it. I'm not from the background, so I don't know for your students, but maybe they already have the knowledge. Yeah, but for us, I guess, yeah, if the explanation is on the board, so it will be very helpful. And also, I observed that you ask quite a lot of why questions. I think it's a bit hard to answer the why question. Yeah, for maybe what and how it will be easier for students. Yeah, to ease our nerves. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Who is the next?
Thank you. So, Dr. Szu-Hsien 老师。
Thank
放前面一点点，就是摄影机可以拍到这样子。
okay. Why me? Okay. Thank you for your presentation. I'm really impressed impressed and about the attention gain, and you shifted to the content knowledge to clarify the myths about the physical activity. Yeah, and your material is really inspiring me have the interest about the topic. Yeah, but maybe the time is not enough. But I want to know in further how do you conduct the assessment in this lesson? Yeah. Yes, that's a good question. Yeah.
Thank you. So would you like to answer it right now or later? Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your question. And in this course, we will provide several ways for assessment. The first one will be the course quiz for some simple questions. And in the end of the semester, we will also have some kind of group mini report to discover the potential application of exercise and cognitive function. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I would like to echo back to the Dr. Wang's comment regarding the question why will kind of too difficult for some student to answer in class. So that also lead me to another suggestion regarding the activity design. So if you want to ask the question individually in class, so probably you can focus on the simple question. So for example, the question with the specific answer, okay? And then for why question or how question, because it's open-ended question, yeah, so probably it's more appropriate for the group design. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Okay, so let's welcome our next presenter, 罗敏琪老师. Okay.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Luo Mingqi. I'm currently a PhD student in Department of Chinese as a Second Language. And today I'm very excited to share my lesson plan about the course Statistics in Education. And it is a course, this is a 16-week course designed for undergraduate students majoring in Chinese as a second language. And it introduces the basic statistics concept to students, which they can use later in the educational research and classroom practice. And the lesson? Oh, okay. So the lesson I'm going to present today is the second week lesson, Introduction to Statistics. And my presentation today will cover 5 parts. First, course overview and learner needs. And second, learning objectives. And third, instruction design. And fourth, assessment and reflection. And 5, conclusion. So who are the students? The students of this course is about 15 undergraduate students who majoring in Chinese as a second language. And all of their native language is Chinese, and their English proficiency is between B1 to B2. So because they are just graduated from high school and enter the college, so they are familiar with the math, but they are not, they don't have enough confidence using English to discuss or present the topic about statistics or the data. So I adopt the EMI approach to help them can both learn the key concept of statistics and academic English, and also further help them to engage with international research resources and build confidence when using academic English. Next, I'd like to talk about the learning objectives. So as you can see, there are 2 different objectives on the slide. The first one is a short-term objectives. So by the end of this lesson, I hope the students can explain the role and importance of statistics in educational research. and also understand some core terms, for example, like variable, population, sample, COVA, and also they can classify variable types and measurement levels. And I also want them to learn how to use academic English to describe and compare statistical concepts. So for the long-term objectives, students are able to understand and apply core statistical principle in education. And they can also conduct basic analysis using SPSS. And they can communicate statistical results effectively in academic English. So how will success be measured? In short term, students are measured by their pair discussion and oral presentation, and also the Zuvio in-class concept quiz, and the 3-to-1 reflection through the Google form. And for the long term, students are measured by their project reports, oral presentation, and the correct use of the term, and also the interpretation of the SPSS output. And across all assessment, I will also look for the use of correct English and the explanation and how they interact with their classmates. So this lesson includes at least 10 different stages. I'll go through the 10 stages in the next few minutes. So first, pre-class preparation. So before the class, students have to do provide the reading materials and put it on the Perzuo. So Perzuo is a platform that allows students to prepare and read the article with their classmates. And also I'll prepare the vocabulary list. So students have to read before the class and analyze and highlight the parts that are interesting or feel confusing before the class. And also they have to leave at least one comment in English. Also, they have to answer their peers at least one comment. So they can build a collaboration and help students to prepare both content and language. When they come to a classroom, because they have previewed the content, so they can feel more confident using English to discuss or present in the class. The second stage is gain attention. So in this stage, I'll do some activities, for example, like showing some real-world data, like Mandarin teacher annual salary, and ask students some questions about it. For example, like which country or city do you think offers the highest salary and why? And where do you think these salary statistics come from? And are they reliable? Why or why not? So that is to connect statistics to students' real life and grab students' attention, and also stimulate their motivation. And the next stage, inform objectives. So in this stage, I will show the objectives on the slide to students to let them know what we're going to learn today and why this is important to them. Next, recall of previous knowledge. So in this stage, I'm going to ask some questions. For example, like, have you heard of the statistics before? And it is in what context? And also, we're going to review the highlights and comments from the Perzuo annotation they did before the class. So I can link the pre-reading with in-class discussion, learning together, and also activate existing knowledge. And the next stage, present the content. I divided the content into four different small parts. The first one is what is statistics. The second one is types of statistics. And the third one is the COVA framework. And the fourth part is key terms. So I provided some supports for them when teaching the content. I'll use some visual aids like slides or example, and also give them a vocabulary list to make complex ideas more easier and support students' English comprehension. And the next stage is provide guidance. So in this stage, I'll provide some scaffolding tools to students. For example, like a visual diagram or example. For example, when I'm teaching the variables and the levels of measurement, I can show some classification trees for students so they can learn the content more easier. And also, I'll provide some sentence patterns and vocabularies for students to use when they discuss or present in the class. For example, the blah, blah, blah is an example of the blah, 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 like nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio, because that is to make students understand the content easier and reduce their anxiety when speaking in English. And the next step. In this step, I'll do some activities. For example, like quizzing, learning check. So I'll put some questions on the quizzes, and students can answer the question about the content we have learned in the class. And after that, I'll do the think, pair, share. So students have to think about the answer and discuss the questions with their partner. And after that, I will invite them to present their answer or their reason in the class. So by doing these activities, I hope I can encourage collaboration and verbal practice while learning the content in the lesson. And the next step is provide feedback. So in this stage, I'm going to do some activities. For example, like I'll go over the answer from the learning track and encourage students to explain their reason in the class, and also get some feedback immediately if they have some common misconception. And by doing so, I hope I can reinforce learning through immediate feedback. And the next step is assess performance. So in this stage, I'll do some activities by using the technological tools such as Zuvio. I'll do the Zuvio quiz to check how students learned. And after that, they have to discuss in peer about the question and answer. So it can integrate both assessment and communication. And the next step is enhance retention and transfer. So in the end of the course, I'll do the 3-to-1 reflection through the Google Forms. So students have to share, for example, like 3 things they have learned today, and 2 ways they're going to apply the knowledge they learned, and 1 question they still have. And in the end of the class, I'm going to assign the new article for them to prepare on Pursue for the next week. Now let's talk about assessment and reflection. So the assessment of EMI course should consider both learning content and language knowledge. So I use different methods to do the assessment. For example, like quizzes, learning check, pair discussion, peer review, and Zuvio quiz, and the 3-to-1 reflection I mentioned about. So that is to monitor both content and language progress and encourage students' self-assessment and their metacognitive awareness. So to summarize the whole learning plan, so before the class, I will ask students to do the pre-class reading activity through the Pursue, and during the class, I will use the real-world warm-up questions, visual explanation with language support, learning check through quizzes, and think, pair, share to teach the students. And it is to increase the interaction and combine content and knowledge. And in the end of the class, I will do the Zuvio formative quiz and the 3-2-1 reflective survey through the Google Forms. And this concludes the learning plans of the statistics in education. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you very much for Dr. Ro's excellent performance as well. So I think you have a very clear presentation regarding how you are going to prepare and deliver your lecture. Okay, so you share what you are going to do before your lecture, during your lecture, and before your lecture end. And you also present why you do so, which is very good. Okay, I'm very impressive for your course design. And you also, you share the specific 10 stages that you prepare and deliver a lecture. Okay, so I would like to give you actually, you have a lot of strengths in your course design. So, for example, you make good use of the vocabulary list, visual aid, and example sentence frame to assist students to understand your lecture and also to ease their anxiety to presenting themselves. And you also ask students to do some preparation before your class, so your students, they do not sit in your class with a blank mind. They already know something. Okay, and you ask them to read, to summarize, to comment, and also to respond. Okay, and that's going to involve a lot of work. Okay, but I'm sure students will get a lot from this process. Okay, so my suggestion for you to think is that probably we would like to give students a very preparation before our class, but perhaps we also need to think how to ease their burden. Yeah, because sometimes if you give them too much homework, and probably some of students, they will just give up. Okay, so this is good, but we can also kind of strike the balance and perhaps to test how students feel. But I'm sure probably you already try this process with your students.
I have been the teaching assistant of this course before, but I don't have chance to actually teach it.
Yeah, right. Okay. From my own experience, actually I have do the same thing with you. So I asked my students to do some preparation before the class, but I only ask them to read and to summarize. Yeah, and for the comment and also response, because from my experience, they will kind of take long time, because when they read the material, they need some time to finish the reading. And so from my own experience, my students, they always finish their reading and summarize at the last minute before class. So which means they won't have time to comment and to respond. Yeah, but perhaps every student have the different situation. Yeah, but just share my experience. Okay, excellent. So now I would like to invite Huang Han 老师, okay, to give you a feedback. And would you like to stand in the front?
Oh, okay.
So the camera can see you.
Okay, thank you for your introduction. And I think first your structure is very clear, and I think very useful for teacher to use this structure to teach. And one very good point, I think that you separate the short-term and the long-term about their learning objective. I think this is very good for students to know clearly how they can learn in maybe these classes, short-term and long-term, or after this semester, I will learn some things, yes, in this class. And I think another good example is you use many tools many psychology tools and websites to help students learning and some homework or pre-classes practice. Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your feedback. Okay, so next one, let's invite Szu-Hsien 老师.
I really appreciate about your slide, very organized, and also I can see the structure in your language support for the student, and that is very good. But I'm not sure if I missed the message or information about your presentation. Is the topic of the lesson is terminology? Sorry, I didn't.
The lesson I'm going to teach is statistics in education.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the course name, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So it's present the whole process, the preparation and the lecturing,
Okay.
the whole circle that she is going to use for each lecture.
Oh, okay. Okay. I get that. Thank you.
Okay, so please join me to thank you for Dr. Luo's excellent presentation. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry, but they didn't put my lesson plan in it, so I kind of need mine. Yeah, I prepared it as a demonstration actually, but I guess I need to do a brief introduction of the lesson plan for you guys to get what it means, but I didn't have that slide and also the lesson plan in word form. So I'm just gonna verbally to introduce it. Please bear with me. So my name is Liang-Yu. I'm from Department of Education in NTNU, and I'm currently a PhD candidate in my 7th year. So today the class is the course name is Critical Study of Selected Readings in English Educational Classics, and the topic is exploring sociological perspectives on education through educational classics. I can show you the topic here. And also kind of sorry for those words. I think the computer has some error in reading the font, so it's not looking good here. Anyway, this is a doctoral degree class. It's for first year doctoral students, and they only have 3 students in the class, one from India, one from Thailand, and one from Taiwan, and I myself is from Malaysia. So I actually taught this class days before, but this is not my class actually. I'm actually a TA in the course, but my professor gave me a chance to teach it and to introduce here. So the students' English proficiency ranging from B2 to C1, it means that they are able to participate in discussions using social language but not quite familiar with academic language. And the subject-specific language skills, they kind of lack the specialized vocabulary because some of them earned the education master degree before, but maybe not in English. So it may be in India and in Thailand. So the way they communicate in the class, mainly it is using social language but not academic language. Yeah, but they are very eager to engage in the class. So for this specific class, there are 3 goals. One is to help them to be able to identify theoretical stances among educational scholars. The other one is to help them to apply multiple theoretical lenses to understand complex educational issue and to demonstrate their understanding in education process is inherently political. So the design is just 4 parts. The first part, I will introduce the basic theories, and then the second part is a guided reading of one classic. So you can see that we learn sociology of education through education classics, which are 2 classics. One is Deschooling Society from Ivan Illich, a scholar or a critic from Austria, and the other one is Paulo Freire, that is Pedagogy of the Oppressed, the book. So I will do 2 guided readings, and then the last part will be the assessment. It's a performance task, and then I will divide the students into group. Well, we actually had 3 students, but I invited another senior to join the class, so we have 4. And then so we can have 2 pairs of groups, 2 pairs of, 2 pairs, yeah. And they will engage in conversation and to try to connect the idea from the classics to contemporary educational issues. Yeah, so basically these are the lesson plan. Now I will do the demonstration for a bit. Yeah. So good morning, class. I'm glad that you are here today. How are you doing? Good? Hungry? Yeah, I'm a bit hungry. So as you can see, today we are going to explore sociology of education through educational classics. So briefly, this is what we are going to do today in the 3-hour course. The first part will delve into sociological theories of education, and then there will just be 3 theories that we are going to look into: structural functionalism, conflict theory, and critical theory, just these 3. And then why do we need this basic knowledge? Because in order for us to understanding these 2 books, we are actually gonna look deep into the last theory that I mentioned just now, which is critical theory. So we kind of need the background knowledge for us to understand these 2 books. And then the 4th part will be a discussions. So remember that 2 or 3 weeks ago, we learned about these 2 books, right? We read these 2 books. Dare the School Build a New Social Order by George Counts, and John Dewey, Experience and Education. So in these 2 courses, we actually came across these 5 questions. What is education for? What is the purpose of schooling? What to teach? How to teach? And how to evaluate? I believe you still have a very vivid memory about this discussion. So I still remember that Dr. Huang, he mentioned that education is actually to let students to be able to be competitive in the society, right? One of the very main reasons why we need to go to school. And also I remember Dr. Luo, yeah, she mentioned about why we need to go to school is because we need to survive in the future. We need to get a good job, right? Every parent, they want it. They want their child to be able to success. However, today, we're gonna just look very deep into what is the purpose of schooling. Please note that that is the difference between schooling and education. Education is a very broad term, but schooling is just about going to school. And then, what is school? We all went to school, right? Do you at some point in your life you go to school? Do you? If you go to school before, let's raise your hand. Go to school before? Go to school before? Yeah, right? So why do we need to go to school? Have you ever think about it? Is it because, yeah? Obligation, yeah, that's true. We all are demanded to go to school, right? We can't really escape from it unless you are very poor and unless you are in the very rural places that there's no school. So we went to school. I am even now in school. So what are the purpose of going to school? If you are the government, what will be the purpose for you to set up schools? If you are the society, what are you expecting for students to go to schools? You want some outcome from the schools, right? If you are parents, why do parents want their children to go to schools? And if you are teachers, all of you are, what do you expect of schooling? So, at this point, probably you guys can give some feedback, but anyway, my course did, so I'll just go through it. So for government, maybe you need to train your citizen to let them to love the country, to obey the rules, and to become very good citizens. And then, of course, nowadays, we have PISA tests, we have teams, so we need national competition. That's very important, right? Taiwan is very at the top rank. What about society? We need human resources, we need workforce, we need labor actually. And we also need the students to become a part of the society. So they will not going wayward, they will not become very weird person, right? And very anti-society. So we need socialization from the school. What else? From parents, they need certificates, they need employment. Sometimes they kind of think that schools is a daycare center. Do you agree? To put the child in the schools so that they can go to work or go to shopping or go to work out. A daycare center. What about for teachers? We are all teachers. Sometimes we have the calling. We wanted to be a good teacher. We wanted the children to be a whole person. So we are in the school, we work hard, but sometimes for some people, teaching is just a career or maybe just a work. But we never really think about from the student's perspective, right? So you can think about what is good for students. So we mentioned about a lot of functions of schools. So when we mention about function, we see that schools has function in the society. So function is about each sector contribute to the stability of society as a whole. It has a function. So if you have a function, then it means that you have a structure to carry out the function. So what are the structures? Schools is one of the structure in the whole society. But in the whole, actually social is itself a structure. And then we have some smaller structure as well. So if you can think about our body, an organism, we have our liver, we have our intestine, we have our brain. Everything carries out the function. So we have structure and then we have function. So every structure carries out function, and every functions need a structure to do the function. So whatever exists in your body or in this society must have its rationale. So these are the famous scholars that are in these sociological stances. I'm not going to go into it, but let's think about it. Does poverty also have a function in this society? Does social inequality also have a function? Does everything that exists necessarily have a function? Are all parts of a society well integrated and mutually complementary? What is your opinion about it? Does poverty have a function? What do you think? There's no correct answer.
I think, yes, it have a function. I think everything have its function.
Yep, this is correct as well. Everything has a function, or else it will extinct, right? It will just demolish, or it will just go away. But there are some people have a different view. They think that some functions, they are not supposed to be in the society. They should be eliminated. So these are the conflict theorists. They see that there are different people groups in the society, and then they are in different positions. So when they all struggle for their own interests, they wanted to have their interests, right? So when they all struggling for their own interests, they will come into conflict, and then this will bring power struggles. And then sometimes it will lead into social change, or even reformation, or even revolution. That is why French Revolution come about. There are different groups, the workers and the elites, they are struggling in the society. So because of the conflict, because of what they wanted to pursue is different. So what is power struggle? This is a very important concept in conflict theory. So it's about, I mentioned just now, well, in order to gain or sustain a dominant position in society, different classes, especially the ruling class, the dominant class, or the social elites, they make use of state apparatus or cultural shaping to transmit false consciousness. What is false consciousness? This is such a big word, but it's actually not. It's just like a veil covered in front of us normal people. So what are the examples of false consciousness? We all actually are blinded some way. For example, we grew up in a society that are so stressed so much on examination, on your result. This is the meritocracy myth. That is, the society will tell you that if you are very, very hardworking, if you are very intelligent, then you might be able to move upward at your status. If you are a worker from a family that your parents maybe are a fisherman, or maybe are farmers, or maybe from a worker. So you are from this kind of family. So if you want social mobility, you want to move upward, then you need to work hard. You work hard in school, you get good marks, you get good certificates, and then you can get a job, so you can become a professional. We all believe in it, right? So this is actually one of the veil that cover us and put us always working on something else and not questioning why do we need it. So education from the perspective of conflict theory. Well, it sees that education is not just about fulfilling some needs of the society. It's about not a process of free development or empowerment. Rather, it is a process in which opportunities are restricted, purposes are imposed, and outcomes are dominated. Us, or the children in the school, they don't actually have a choice to pick anything else. They just are mandatory, obligatory to go to school and then to desire the outcome set by the schools or by the teachers. So regardless of students' learning attitudes in school, whether they are compliant or whether they resist the school, the socializing function of schooling ultimately fixes or solidifies their social status. It means that if your parents are a worker, very, very much you might be a worker as well. You can't really go up, even though the society lets you know that you can if you work hard. So this perspective actually tries to explain how education or how schooling contributes to social reproduction and class reproduction throughout various mechanisms. So we will go through about this and that. Yeah, that's all because time's up. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for Dr. Wang sharing. Okay, so Dr. Wang, in your presentation, you have the first of all, you introduce things to cover to students, which is good, and then you activate prior knowledge to motivate the student. I quite like the way how you motivate the student, how you lead your student to talk. So first of all, you ask the student the question, what is the purpose of school? And you you show the question on your slide, which is very good because you can, for some students, if they do not catch your question, or for students who do not pay attention, and they can always look at the screen and then know what they are doing right now. So, which is a very good way to lead the QA session. And also, you use the visual aid, to guide the student to the direction you want them to discuss. So which is very good as well. And regarding your lecture, you have I quite like the way how you transit from one topic to the other, because you use the question. You use question and to transit student to your next topic. I think it's very good before you present the content, and then you give the student opportunity to think. Yeah, so they kind of prepare your student to go to the next topic. But here also lead to one of my suggestions, if time allowed, and probably you can use the TPS mentioned by the previous presenter. Okay, the TPS, you can pair student and ask them to share, okay, think, pair, and share, okay, before you go to the next section, because you can ensure that everyone has the opportunity to share their opinion, or not just one. Okay, not just one student answer your question. Okay, and at the end, probably you do not have enough time, so probably you need to have the feedback and also assessment.
Yeah, it actually varies, yeah.
Yeah, but you do not have enough time to finish your demonstration, right? Okay, so now, yeah, your comment.
May I have a minute to log in my camera?
Oh yeah, sure, okay. So now I would like to invite Dr. Huang here, right? Huang 老师.
Okay, thank you for your sharing. And first, I think your experience is very good. And when you are guiding students some questions or complaint is serious, I think this is very good about from some different perspectives, or using some thinking or discussing ways. All of them is a very good teaching ways to teach students or sharing some theories. And your context and this things is very detailed. And I have a little question about maybe this context is too more. This context is too more about this slides context too more, and students need to reading, thinking, and using English in the same time. Maybe we are a little difficult. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Chen 老师.
Okay. First of all, I do appreciate your great effort for this presentation. Everything is so wonderful, and I do enjoy your way of presenting that topics. It's just like listening to a great story. Yeah, you are such a great storyteller. And I am just curious about, is that possible for you to introduce some kind of Chinese educational classics? Is there any traditional Chinese classic about the education? Yes.
Chinese classic. I guess, yeah, of course they are. Do you need to know some?
I mean, how would you demonstrate those kind of things in your courses?
Yeah, this is actually a courses for doctoral students from the English program. We don't actually they don't actually understand Mandarin, so we are not introducing any Mandarin classics. Yeah, all of them are English. Yeah.
I think Dr. Chen pointed to one point that I will also like to share probably at the end, but since you mentioned that, I will say right now. So I think all the technique, all the structure we used to present our EMI courses can be used in CMI courses, because that's the different principle. But EMI courses just remind us, okay, we still also think about that when we teach our class in Chinese. Okay, so let's join me to thank you for Dr. Wang's presentation, and also at the same time welcome for our last presenter today. Okay, 好，欢迎一下他们。好，谢谢跟欢迎。
Mr. Wang, everyone. I'm Szu-Hsien from the Department of Special Education in NTNU. Honestly, I wasn't supposed to be here. I'm just kidding, but my classmates told me that the participant here, well, what's wrong? Okay, maybe I stand here. Because my classmates told me that most participants are professors or PhD candidates like you guys here. So, but I'm only a third year PhD student without a full semester university teaching experience. Yeah. During the EMI training has been both challenging and deeply meaningful for me. Today I'm excited but also nervous. I'm very honored to learn from all of you, though speaking English for so long made me anxious for weeks. my only 15-minute English presentation experience was last year during an EMI course, literature review only. Okay. Next semester, I will take a teaching practicum where I will teach the course Emotional and Behavioral Disorders to the second year undergraduate. That's why I designed today's demo around the course, a 2-credit, 60 weeks class. The topic we are going to focus on is defining students with EBD in the era of inclusive education in week 2. The topic is foundational. It helps learners identify EBD characteristics under special education laws, blending theory and practice. Mastering this will prepare them for later themes in this course. Through this EMI course, students will improve their academic English proficiency by incorporating a variety of activities and practice in each lesson. In this course, I estimate there will be about 20 to 25 students from Taiwan, and their English level is probably around the CEFR A2 to B1. For many students, this might be their first experience with an EMI course. Most of the students are female, majoring in special education. I think they have already taken courses like Introduction to Special Education, Psychology, and Educational Statistics. There might be 2 or 3 students with a minor or double major, and 1 or 2 students also with special educational needs. Okay. Most of them graduated from academic high schools, so I think that with some support like vocabulary list, sentence structures examples, and the teacher demonstrations, they should be able to follow the teacher's explanations and discuss with their peers. They can express and discuss their opinions using simple cause and effect sentences, read short professional text in English, and write paragraphs to share their thoughts. In this course, students will understand the theoretical foundations, practical support methods for students with EBD in their diverse form, like the goals including recognizing common diagnostic categories, their causes, prevalence, onset period, and characteristics. Students will also learn how to identify features needed to meet assessment criteria, understand the EBD evaluation process, and explore continuous placement options. Additionally, students will learn how to use multiple assessment tools to gather the necessary data for evaluations and make decisions for support plans. They will also learn to collaborate with school system members within the multi-tiered or positive behavior support PBS framework to provide the necessary support for EBD students. Through this EMI course, students can build confidence in academic discussions and reading academic articles. They will also learn how terminology is used in different languages and how language use can be influenced by cultural context. They might feel hesitant or shy, especially in classroom discussion, which is very common in Chinese culture, right? But however, students who actively participate will likely see a significant improvement in their academic English skills. Okay. By the end of the lesson, students will achieve 3 main goals. First one is they will be able to explain and justify why Taiwan adopted the terms emotional and behavioral disorder, focusing on how it reduces stigma and encourages early support. Second, they will learn to differentiate between students who may only need counseling and those who meet the criteria for special education services. Third, they will be able to apply knowledge by analyzing the case study. We will explore Taiwan's 7 core criteria for identifying EBD, and the student will use a 7-point checklist to analyze a 120-word case, identifying missing information or data gaps, and write a 50-word analytical statement. To ensure students are meeting these objectives, I will measure their success through a series of structured activities and assignments throughout the lesson. For vocabulary and core concepts, we will have a thin page, just Professor Huang mentioned it before. Okay, this is where students will practice creating sentences with professional terms to demonstrate their initial understanding. And I will invite a few groups to share and ask quick check. To check a comprehension of the lecture content, I will use interactive multiple choice questions on Slido. This gives me immediate feedback on whether students have grasped the key distinctions I've taught. The central practice text is a group section where students integrate all 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing by working on the case study together. At the end of the class, an exit ticket will serve as a quick summative check on the most critical concept of the lesson. Finally, the homework. Students need to homework will require the student to extend the classroom case study. That is the extending task. Creating an evidence matrix and a written reflection. I will grade this assignment using detailed rubrics for formally assess their mastery of this topic. To reduce the challenges students might feel in an EMI course, my instructional design is built on 2 main parts: structured support, you can call it scaffolding, and active engagement. First, recognizing that my student English level are around A2 to B1, I don't just present information. I provide a high-level structure at the start of the class. I show the specific learning objectives and pre-teach the key vocabulary. I also provide the sentence structures and examples. This strategy is not about giving them the answers, but giving them the tools and the confidence to engage with complex material in English. Okay. Second, I believe students learn best by doing. My lesson is broken into manageable chunks. After I explain a concept, I deliberately use a tool like Slido. The reason for this is to create a low pressure and anonymous ways for students to participate. It is a pedagogical choice to encourage participation. Without the fear of losing face in the class, which is crucial for building a safe learning environment. Think, pair, share activity is another strategy choice. It is a 3-step process designed to scaffold the discussion. student gets time to think individually. Then they articulate their ideas in a safe pair setting. Before being asked to share with the whole class, the process has already systematically built their confidence and fluency in academic discussion. Okay. Every topic in this course leads to a hands-on activity that integrates all four academic English skills. This cycle of teacher demonstration, student practice, and feedback sessions ensure the students are constantly applying what they learn, moving from passive reception to active creation. This design aims to reduce anxiety and ensure they master both the content and the language. Okay, now let's dive into the specific of how these activities functions as assessment. For formative assessment, we started to slide a poll during the mini lecture to see if students are grasping the key ideas. I give instant feedback to keep them from track. Next, in the think, pair, share activity, they compare terms using a specific sentence frames like X is different from Y because like this kind of frame. Okay, this assess their ability to use definition accurately. I provide micro feedback and write good examples on the board. And then we move to the guided practice with the case study. I will walk them through marking evidence. I will show later that matches the 7 EBD criteria, focusing on the common confusions. Finally, in the group case analysis, they complete the checklist and write a 50-word analysis. Then they will do peer review, change the case they get with another group, focusing on accuracy, identifying data gaps, and using connected to write the statement. For summative assessment, at the end of the class, students complete an exit ticket with 6 items, testing, recall, and application. For homework, they create an EBD evidence matrix and write a 100 words reflection. I provided scaffold like a bilingual glossary and a sample analysis to ensure fairness. And I will use a rubric to grade this homework. Now let me show you my lecture slide. Okay. I just show quickly. Okay, how this. There's a attention gain attention question, and I will start in the 4 words: reduce stigma and get early help from the definition. And objectives, glossary, and the think, pair, share activity. Okay, I will start here to build 3 axes. And this is the first one, the content for lecture. Okay, there was the different term from US and Taiwan. And then is the different definition. Okay, the blue box are the 7 checkpoints I explained it before. And this is compare the student population in the counseling office and the student needed special education. Okay, and that was the group activity. The right side of the 7 box for students to check this, and I will step by step show them how to finish the task. And that was case A, case B, and finally I will give them the takeaway message and then shift to exit ticket. And finally I will show them the homework requirements and how to finish. that was a class task extending task. They need you to use this to build another matrix. Okay, I will show them how to use the phrases to the every cells, each cells. Okay, and finally I will introduce the topic next week. Sorry. Okay, I finished. Thank you all guys for attention and active participation. So any question is welcome. Okay.
Okay, so thank you for your presentation and sharing. So I think the strengths in your demonstration is that you trying to use a lot of different techniques to try to scaffold students, including TPS, Slido, small group discussion, exit ticket, homework. Yeah, and you use this as the formative measures in your lecture, and also as a way to active the engagement of your students. Yeah, so it's a kind of, they have the multiple function, which is very good. And also, you mentioned one thing that haven't been mentioned by the other presenters is you use the rubric to mark your students' homework, which I think is very good because you can guide yourself how to mark your students' homework, and also before you do so, you can also share the rubric with your students, so your student will very clearly know your expectation to their homework. Yeah, so that is a very good way, okay, in terms of the homework mark. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. And now I would like to work, okay, the feedback from Chen 老师.
Okay, thank you for everything. It's really my honor of being able to give some feedback to Professor O. I do enjoy your presentation. You provide so many insights for the curriculum for these courses. And from my personal perspective is that I used to have some lectures for the undergraduate students. I just realized that they might have some quote-unquote attention deficit disorder. So what I mean by that is that when I give some speech or lectures, they just use their cell phones or doing nothing there. So how can you strike a perfect balance of using those e-tech like the Slido and the students' attention? Thank you.
Because I haven't
tried.
Yeah, I haven't tried. So, but I think that I will build the very structured course. So I want them to feel that a lesson every week, the structure was the same. So maybe I will give the question on the Moodle before the next week. I just show them and help them to think before the class. So help them to engage. But because the question, the Slido I use, I want them anonymous. I don't want them to have the pressure to answer the correct answer. So I think like this gain attention question, I just want to check what are they feel and their experience before. So this is I think that is critical. I will make them know that every question is connected to next to topic, a concept, important concept to engage them. 我不知道回答的对不对。
没关系. Okay, I can answer your question because I like Slido and I like the Q&A quite a lot, and I ask my students to answer the questions through their cell phone. And sometimes I really find that some students will get distracted because they're using their cell phone. So what I'm doing is that I will work around. I like to walk around when I'm talking. Yeah, I will check what they are doing. So while they know, okay, teacher will walk around, and they don't, they won't do that because they know teacher will notice. Okay, very practical question. Good. Okay, so and then now I would like to invite 罗老师, okay, to give you a feedback.
So first of all, thank you for your clear and inspiring presentation. Have learned a lot from your presentation, and I think your lesson is really well organized. I know I can learn how you're going to prepare and going to teach for your whole lesson, and you prepare enough scaffolding and language support for your students, which can reduce their anxiety for using English in the class. I just have one question. You mentioned about most of your students are from the same department. So how do you deal with the students who have different major? Do you have another way to teach them, or you just teach them the same as the students who come from your department? My question is, so you mentioned most of your students are from the same department of you.
Yeah, no, sir.
Yes, so how do you deal with the students who is from different departments?
So they probably have the same level of background knowledge. But
我有点不知道怎么用英文讲。But this course is not 不是必修，它是选修，所以它并不是所有人都要。对，对不起，我用中文回答。对，那所以会来的这已经算是进阶的课程，然后他想要再往下修才会。对，这样回答你的问题，谢谢。对，它是比较难的课程。对。对。好。
Okay, thank you. So let's still need to thank you for Dr. 郭老师哈。好 ，Okay. So I'm very impressed by your willingness to try and to learn how to EMI. Okay, and that's a kind of trend for the future education. Yeah, so I'm glad you have the opportunity to give you a chance to try right now. So I think from your demonstration and the presentation, we really get a lot of insight regarding how to EMI. So I do hope that you can bring this insight that we gain from today's sharing back to your future EMI practices, and continue to be with EMI. Okay, and thank you very much for your dedication and the contribution to today's session. So I'm going to, because of the time matter, so I believe we already have a lot of and deep discussion regarding today's demonstration. Okay, so I would like to close today's session, and thank you very much again.